Knew from the beginning that the January 6th committee was designed just to force the Justice Department to charge Trump. A new report shows key elements were based on lies that could seriously injure Jack Smith's case against Trump. Do you remember Democrats' star witness, Cassidy Hutchinson? She testified under oath that Trump lunged to the front seat of the beast in an attempt to wrestle the steering wheel away from the Secret Service and drive himself to the Capitol riot.
The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol."
The media ate it up.
President Trump, according to these Secret Service agents who relayed this to Cassidy Hutchinson, lunged at the wheel and then lunged at the throat and clavicle.
He apparently became furious when he was told he could not join the mob.
He physically got into an altercation with his Secret Service because he wanted to go to the Capitol.
Cassidy Hutchinson having the courage to come forward and do what so few inside the Trump White House have been willing to do, come out publicly, freely, and to tell the truth.
But it wasn't the truth. Trump never tried to hijack his motorcade to join January 6thers. Trump's own driver testified that it never happened. But his testimony was covered up until now. Trump never grabbed the steering wheel, never lunged, never attacked the Secret Service. He told the crowd to march peacefully, and he drove peacefully home. Now, the other big lie was that Trump actively blocked the National Guard from responding to January 6th.
We know Trump was the one who initially resisted mobilizing the National Guard.
You need federal authorization. You need the Trump administration to authorize it. And the Trump administration is AWOL.
There's no indication that President Trump ever made a call to have the Guard deployed.
It was so slow in getting the National Guard to the Capitol. I think that's another chapter of the story that involves high levels in the administration.
New transcripts that have been buried show Trump's White House offering 10,000 National Guardsmen to the D.C. mayor ahead of January 6th. Mayor Bowser declined the request. Interviews also show that on January 6th, the White House was burning up the phones to the Pentagon, demanding they deploy quick reaction forces to the Capitol, but the Pentagon was slow to react. Now, if Trump, as Jack Smith alleges, was trying to incite a riot to obstruct the certification, why would he ask 10,000 National Guards to protect the Capitol days before? And why did the January 6th committee hide this from the public? Outkick host Tommy Lahren joins me now. I wonder what else they covered up, Tommy.
Yeah, there's a reason that people don't trust our government or institutions, and it's because we're batting 1,000 on conspiracy theories at this point. But also, the taxpayers wasted about $4 million on that January 6th committee, and I'm not sure exactly what for. But beyond that, the media, still to this day, 3.5 years later, clutching their pearls. January 6th was Pearl Harbor. January 6th was worse than 9/11. No, January 6th was their Christmas, and it's becoming more and more apparent with each passing day. And beyond that, what we're finding out from this new information here, these new transcripts, I'm wondering what the heck Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, of course, Adam Schiff were doing, because the actual evidence reads more like their collective burn books from Mean Girls than it does actual evidence. So at this point, we wasted $4 million to go after Trump yet again. But too bad, so sad. It looks like he's going to be our nominee. Biggest comeback in American history, and that's Donald Trump.
And Nancy Pelosi, who's in charge of security for the Capitol, was not allowed to be interviewed for the January 6th committee. What does that tell you?
Well, also, let's keep in mind that there was that lovely documentary, I believe, made by her daughter, where she said she wanted to punch Trump out. So that theatrical moment was, of course, captured to make her look like, you know, she's some defender of democracy and patriotism. But I'd like to hear from Nancy. I'd like to hear from Adam Schiff, who wants to be, you know, of course, a senator from California. I would like to hear from Liz Cheney. And I'd like to hear from Adam Kinzinger. All of them should be issuing corrections. And I expect, Jesse, that the rest of the media media, CNN, MSNBC. I imagine that as we speak, they are apologizing to their audience and the American people. Actually, I'm not going to hold my breath for that one.
Yeah, you'll be holding your breath until you're dead. Tommy Lahren, Outkick. Thanks as always.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
It's not about justice. It's not about agenda. It's not about mobilizing people. It's about dialing for corporate dollars. These two parties have sold the U.S. government and the American people to the highest bidders.